This is Tanya Dosenfiana Ladofi. You can call me Ladofi. And I'm welcoming new members once again. And I want to say thank you for those who have been sharing my videos, the first two videos. I'm grateful for that. I want to also thank God for bringing us this far. I want to talk about haunting, what haunt us. You know, like we all have that story, that incident that happened in our life, but we can't forget it, or it's always coming back into our stories or our lines. Mine was when I was 7. I had a granny who was a victim of asthma. And to me, she was my best granny because she was always there when my mom wanted to beat me. She was always there to stop her. But parents are parents, they still beat you anyway. But she was always there. The fact that she was always there and I was always just seated next to her, even if, she was old, but still strong, even though each and every time she's down because of asthma. So every time she would move out of home to go to the hospital for checkup, she would come back home with bananas. I expected it every time. Every time she would leave home, I expected her to come back with bananas. And it made me even laugh her more for that. So one day the bananas came, it was not from her. So it happened that when you lose someone, someone that has been loving to you, someone that has been close to you, it hits different. And for me, it happened that I watched her die right in front of me. It happened that she went to the bathroom and I followed her. Reaching there, I saw her suffocating by the air that was keeping her alive. She wasn't breathing. I just stood there, I could not do anything. And then when the neighbors heard that sound, they came and rushed her to the hospital. And hours later, we hear that she's no more. But I did not cry. I did not cry. My thinking was, am I going to have the same destiny? Because those things of heredity, the asthma pass on to the kids or the grandkids. So that was what happened to me. My same case was like I was also rushed to the hospital almost every morning by my parents, but it's a different case now. But back then, I thought I was going to meet the same destiny. The fear wasn't that my grandmom died, but the fear was that I've lost also someone that was giving me bananas. You know those stories that you are kids, you don't seem to understand things well until later. My fear was like I'm going to meet the same destiny. Before I reach even her age, I might die. That was the only thing that was making me cry. And how was I supposed to tell this story to anyone? How was I supposed to start saying, am I also going to die? This? So we happened to take her to our village to bury her. And the next day, the next week, we came back home and the bananas came. It wasn't from her. Trust me, I did not enjoy it. Same thing was running in my mind. And the bad thing, I was taken to a school that was very cold. And when I reached to that school, that's when I got to learn about faith. It's Maryland. It's an SDA school. I got to learn about fasting. It was the first week of prayer when they were teaching about Illuminati, something that really scared me too. But the thing is, I learned to fast. We all have that story that keeps on coming in, replaying in our minds, bringing in fear. And fear is something that breeds. when and it grows into something. And mine was like, I'm going to die, like it's going to be my destiny to also die, like not the same way, not the same age, but Athema is going to take my life. It might be soon. That was the only fear. But years went by, everything went by, I was still living, and the fear was still growing until I learned to face it. Now, when I joined secondary school, I went to Maryland SDA school, and that school really taught me how to. I cannot say I never knew how to pray, but it taught me fasting, having faith. I remember the first time that something came out of faith was I had a shoe that was destroyed from, we had those types of black shoes that every time it rained, water would come in. So mine was like that. And my faith was like, I should just get 1K and buy a super glue and glue my shoes. That was my faith. It happened that it happened that I answered the correct answer in class and I was given 5K. And then, yeah. So that was my first time understanding faith. And then this fear started to, and then this fear started to calm down. I was like, if I can pray, if I can have faith, maybe I'm not going to have the same destiny, the same fate. Maybe I'm still going to live longer. Maybe it's not going to be Athema to kill me. I had that in my mind. And then I fasted. And then I prayed. No one knew, of course, what I was fasting for, but deep down I knew this was a story that was traumatizing me all my life since I was a child. And all I'm saying is that you might not be having the same story like mine. Your fear might not be my fear, but we all have the story that keeps on haunting us. And if you hunt it down with prayers, with fasting, with your knowledge, things are not supposed to be scaring us. We are supposed to be living a life out of fear. Most of the times we pray to God to remove our fear, to give us strength to face our demons. And I was reading this book. It's called You Were Always Growing. You Were Always Growing by Charlotte. And it says, maybe this season isn't about becoming something. Maybe it's about letting go. Maybe it's about unlearning. Or maybe it's about releasing what was never meant to be yours. Maybe this part of your journey is about falling apart because better things are waiting to fall into place. There are some seasons in life that will bend you, break you, test you, challenge you, and make you question it all. But as all seasons do, they come to an end and a new one begins. If things feel like they are falling to pieces, persevere. Maybe you're right where you're meant to be. Maybe your next season is when you bloom. So, as I was saying, we have different fears. Some people fear being broken, some people fear being attached, which leads to heartbreak, of course. Some people fear losing things. And that fear always becomes that fear always becomes parts of us. It keeps breeding into different things that we can't even face it. The only thing we think of, might happen. So when I read this book talking about seasons, like things are meant to happen, seasons are meant to come in. Like those fear, maybe they're teaching you how to face things. I've ever gone through some things that I thought I would never get over, but back then I just took it as a season, or it's a phase, something that I'm going to overcome. So when you learn to face your fear, like facing your demons, you hunt down your demons. We can face our fears using different ways. People pray, people meditate, people, you know, give space to breathe. Like some of us just jump onto things when it comes to relationship, from one heartbreak to another heartbreak, from one relationship to another relationship. I mean, bro, settle, calm yourself down. No man is running away, no woman is running away. Some are still being born. All I'm trying to say is that there are things that haunt us, like the fears that I talked about. Mine was about dying from asthma, but yours might be different. When you learn to hunt down your demons, or when you know, there's always this story that better the devil you know than the angel you don't know. I don't know if that's how they say it, but it's better to always grow. Like, don't get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Don't get stuck fearing. Don't get stuck breaking. Don't get stuck chasing things. Allow things to flow. Allow yourself to feel that fear and learn how to fight it. You can't run away from it, but you can only face it. So, as I was saying, thank you for those who are sharing my videos, and thank you for those who love it. I'm doing this to give a voice, to be heard, to just get things out of my mind. I want a space where I can be myself, say anything and not be judged. And I felt like judging people just don't stop. I've received some comments as for my first videos inside my WhatsApp, and some that encouraged me to go on, and I'm grateful for that. And for those ones supporting me with the words, I'm grateful. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to pray. Thank you.